and I'm late. But hey, God, hair, better late than never. Yes? Yes. Okay. I had some visitors this morning, and so that was wonderful. Friends that used to be our neighbors. And I don't want you to see the empty screws in the walls. Why? Why do I care? It's. Hi. I'm Julie. It's good to be here with you. I had some visitors this morning, and that was wonderful. Good friends, longtime friends. And you know me, I lose track of time. And hello, Stephanie. And, we were chit chatting. Hi, Judy. We were chit chatting, and it was marvelous. It was a great way to start the morning. Not only that, hi, Manuela. Sorry, let me just paint this nail real quick. Not only did I get to start the day with some fabulous friends stopping by to chit chat and visit, and there's Cynthia, hello, and there's Johnny from the Dominican Republic, and there's Sabrina, hello, hello, and welcome. Uh, Stephanie, oh my Lord. Stephanie is at work checking in, but had to evacuate for a fire alarm. Yikes. We, here in the great state of Utah, everything's on fire. It's fire season, so I'm getting you guys adjusted. It is fire season. Again, it's becoming very reliable, our fire season. Anyway, so I got to start the morning with some friends visiting, and that was fantastic. And then, also, this weather, it's been so funky, but it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, and it's probably going to rain. It rained a little bit last night, not tons, but it did rain a little bit, and it should rain today. How about that? Yeah. So I didn't even bother watering my plants last night. I also didn't get to sit out in the Laughing Place garden like I like to do in the evenings, but I was totally okay with that in the interest of the plants getting watered and us not having to water them. Anyway, plus I decided that I really do need to go to bed on time. You know, it's good for you. I'm coloring them black. Yeah, just touching up the black nail polish. I've been in very much a black nail polish mood. I'm doing better than I was, you guys. I am. I'm doing much, much better. I've been taking some proactive steps at helping myself through difficult times and trying to be more positive and optimistic about it. And we're doing that. But black nail polish, for whatever reason, helps me. I don't know why. I think part of it is it makes me feel young again because when I was in high school, black nail polish was a trend. We're talking the late 90s. Some of you know what I am, referencing and everything because you might have been a black nail polish wearer yourself. Black nail polish and really dark lipstick. Yep. Those were the days. Anyhow, so those are touched up. Hi, Dana from Maryland. Welcome. I am so glad that you are here with us. Hi, Phyllis. There's Shelly, Frugal Living. Welcome. Yeah, geez. Cynthia, Diving with Purpose. Yeah, fire. I've been looking at that and how things are going in Texas, and it's a mess there with the fires and stuff. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I want to pronounce this name correctly, but I know I won't. We have a friend from Denmark here, and okay, let me give it a try. Because if you're new, then you might not know that I love beautiful names, beautiful words. I love the way they roll off the tongue. Mimi, allergies, teeth, salt rinse, thank you. Anyway, I love beautiful names, but the tricky thing is trying to pronounce them correctly. So let's give it a try. Hi, Brooke. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Take a breath. Me.
Oh.
Karanayev? Christensen? No, you go get ready for the day. Is it Karanayev? Am I pronouncing that correctly? If I'm not, then I'm going to try a different way. But Karanayev. Karanayev. Isn't that gorgeous? I do love. Oh, it's Karina. Oh, I mean, that's still a beautiful name, but you will now forever and ever here be known as Karanayev. I love beautiful names. Anyway, Karina. All right, fine. You can be Karina. But in my heart, you will always be Karanayev. Anyway, okay. So, thanks for putting up with me, you guys. You're wonderful. Hi, Margaret. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, so what is going on with everybody today? Hello, Laura. I'm here at my home, in my house, talking to you, getting ready to batch film a bunch of videos for next week. Well, next week? I don't know. Did you guys know? Hi, Heather. The foot is coming along. It's tomorrow. Today's Friday, right? Tomorrow is supposed to be. Sorry, I'm pointing at you with my nail polish. Supposed to be. Hi, Sandra from New York. Tomorrow is supposed to be the last day that I have to wear the boot. I don't think it's gonna be quite ready because it's not quite ready. Which reminds me, I want to tell you guys about something kind of funny. I don't think it's gonna be ready. I think we are gonna need a little bit longer, which sucks, but I knew that was a possibility, and I'm trying to be as positive about it as I can. Hello, Lisa from Canada. So okay, so yeah, my foot is definitely. Oh, I know, Cynthia. I'm gonna be all over the place. We're gonna be running amok. Have you guys seen that? There's gonna be the new Hocus Pocus movie. Yeah, sorry. Let me get comfortable. That is where that line comes from. Amok. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. Shoot, I don't even know what I was going to talk about. It's that kind of a morning, frugal friends. And some mornings are like that. Some mornings are like that. Yeah, Cynthia, the new Hocus Pocus movie. I don't remember when they said it's coming out. And I don't know if it's going to theaters or just to Disney Plus. You never know anymore what they're going to do with Disney movies. If they're going to have like a short time in the theater and then come to streaming, or if they're going to go straight to streaming. You just don't know. You just never know. So we'll see. But I am looking forward to it. I'm a little apprehensive about it, only because it is such a long time in between, and the actors themselves have obviously aged. Okay. So, and based on the trailer, it doesn't look like they're going to try doing any of that de-aging stuff, which I'm glad. But I want to know how they're going to. Oh, of course, Cynthia, I'm going to watch it anyway. Laura, supposed to have the boot off tomorrow, but I don't see that being the case. I think we're going to need it a little longer. But are they going to explain? Like, are they going to just pretend? And we as the audience are going to pretend that we don't notice that they got older in the 30 years since that movie came out, the first one. Or is there going to be some kind of storyline, part of it worked in? So my sister told me that there was actually like a sequel book or something to Hocus Pocus that doesn't explain that, because obviously initially they weren't Yeah, Lori, you. Hi, you're having your surgery. That's right. That's why I'm going to record a whole bunch of story videos. When I'm done here with you guys doing this, I am going to actually record a bunch of story videos for the Grown Up channel. For you, Lori. I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten. Hello, Redneck Fire Fishing from Arkansas. Oh, so Frugal Living says that the new Hocus Pocus is coming to Disney Plus September 30th. Perfect. Perfect. But that's just what I want to know. Are they going to create some kind of explanation for the fact that the witches, the Sanderson sisters, who were dead, remember they, in the first one at the end, they kind of blow up. Bye bye. Anyway, is there going to be an explanation? That's what I'm wondering. I don't know. And if there's not, it's okay. I'm willing to just overlook it and pretend. But of course, my curiosity is like, but will they come up with something to explain that? Because, oh, that's what I was saying. So the story, the sequel story that my sister told me about it's like a book. It's not a movie, obviously, yet. But I'm sure they didn't anticipate that it would take 30 years for the second one to be made. So you got to roll with it. You got to alter some things and then... Anyway... Hi, guys. One of you asked if I have finished the, what do you call it? Bug out bag. No, I have not. That is one of the videos I will be working on. I'm going to be doing a lot of working on batch filming ahead videos today for this weekend and next week, across the 3 channels. Why in the world did I try to keep up 3 channels? Well, it's down to there's content that fits what we do here, and there's content that does not. And it just makes sense to have it on a different channel, but it also is incredibly frustrating and time consuming and much more work than I anticipated trying to keep up 3 channels. Some of you are familiar with that and have experienced that, and you know exactly what I'm talking about and how that is. That's hard. Anyway, but it is what I do and I love it. I'm just not able to get comfortable, and I'm probably going to ruin the nail polish I just touched up. No, actually, it's fine. Yay. I am trying to get comfortable here, Frugal friends. Anyway. So yes, I will be working on the bug out bag this next week. And that is actually what I wanted to talk about today. So several of you, thank you, Judy. Several of you answered to that video. Sorry, I need to have something in my hand. I'm a little fidgety today. You guys know there's a lot going on this week. It's my daughter's birthday this week, her 16th birthday, and she's not home for it. And that is painful, very, very painful, but I'm doing my best. We're working through it. Anyway, so, several of you had answered, the questions that I kind of asked in that video about the bug out bag and what would you put in yours, or what do you put in yours, and do you have a bug out bag, and how often do you, a bug out bag, a 72-hour emergency kit, whatever. And you guys gave me a lot of good ideas. So what I decided I'm going to do today is, while I'm with you guys, I'm also going to do a little bit of preparation for these videos that I'm going to be doing about prepping. Now, when I say prepping, it does bring up certain expectations or connotations. For instance, I'm not going to build a bunker. We're not digging a ginormous hole in the backyard and putting a, what are those things called? Those freight thing. God, it's like a trailer, whatever. Anyway, we're not putting one of those in the ground, and we're not. Okay. But it is smart. It is wise to prepare Preparing for prepping. Yes, Cynthia, I like the way you think. It is wise, it is prudent, and it is frugal to prepare for the future. Absolutely. So I want to do it my own way, though. Not such that I'm going to learn to hunt. I might learn to gather. I'm not going to have a stockpile of arms. There are certain things I will have on hand because they make sense to have in an apocalypse situation. This whole thing that I'm doing, I need to be doing this anyway. It is wise to prepare yourself for emergencies, for disasters, because they are plenty. They're very, very plentiful these days. So, but it's also helping me to prepare, well, not to prepare, but helping me to put a positive spin on the situation. So life is a mess right now here in my own family. There's, disasters aplenty. Lori, I will absolutely do that just for you. Absolutely. It's helping me to take all of this energy of fear and negativity and self-doubt and just hopelessness and feeling, useless and not able to do much of anything about anything. Taking all of that energy and trying to focus it in on something that I can do that's positive. And I think it's wise when you are going through difficult times to focus on what it is that you can control, things that you do have power over when you seemingly have power over nothing else, and to try to make some kind of positive impact or do something, harness that energy. And instead of climbing in a hole and staying there and just crying forever, no judgment if that's what you do, because these are tough times, but that's not what I want to do. I want to do something. I want to feel like I have the power or the control of something, which brings us to prepping, but not the kind of prepping, like I'm not going to start dressing in camo, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm going to take a few different approaches to it and put some spins on it. Hello, Anita. I do food storage, but I don't do, at least not yet, maybe someday I will, but I don't do the like massive buckets and cans of things. I don't do that. I get things that we regularly eat anyway. One thing that I have found, and this is especially here in Utah, in dumpsters, I don't know how many times I have found the big cans of food, the buckets, literal buckets of wheat berries. Yeah, wheat. It's a thing here. It's a Mormon thing, a Utah Mormon thing. And so people buy them, but they don't use them. I mean, I'm sure there's some people. I know my fabulous mother-in-law, she at least used to grind wheat. My husband loved waking up to the sound of the wheat grinder. I don't know if he loved it, but it was part of his childhood. And so some people do actually use the wheat, okay? I don't. I never have. That's not my thing. So my food storage approach has always been, it's a stockpile, it's an overstock. And we cycle through it, and it's stuff that we use on a daily, regular basis. So, hi, Barbara. Thank you. It's your green beans. It's your spaghetti sauce. Things that we are using all the time anyway. And I stock up on those along with some emergency supplies and stuff like that, and medications and whatever. And then cycle through them because they're things that we use anyway. We use them anyway. I know it works for some people to do the wheat or to get are they called number 8 cans? I don't remember, but anyway, of freeze dried everything and stuff like that, or powdered this and powdered that. Will I ever do any of those? Maybe. I'm not saying that will never happen, because it might. but it's not the approach that I am taking. I'm not trying to go live off the grid or that I'm not. So what I want to do, and this, I'm going to be exploring this in a few videos, and I took to heart several of the answers that you guys gave. I want to come up with my own list. So I'm going to take the ideas that you guys shared. I'm also right here going to do a little bit of research and look into what I'd like to call, how would I call it? A modified prepping experience with a bit of a dumpster diving twist, because someday we will dumpster dive again when my foot actually like works well enough to do it. And so I'm utilizing things that we have salvaged. Of course I am. And trying to do it all on a budget. So if you have looked into, Laura, my husband already has one. Yeah, he already has one, but we could get some more of the life straws. What I want to do is, well, what I was going to say, sorry, too many thoughts, and I haven't even had coffee. Oh my God, I have not had coffee yet. Bear with me. So what I want to do is point out that regular prepping or this kind of modern prepping that happens is very expensive, because you're stockpiling arms and shells, and I gotta be careful what words I use, otherwise we get demonetized for content. But on a lot of these other channels that I watch, they call them force multipliers for self-protection. That's not really the route that I'm going, because I like to throw around the word apocalypse, because I am a very much a lover of things horror and zombie and apocalypse related. And so that is the word I'm throwing around. But for me, it's more, if there's a flood, if there's the house catches on fire and all we can grab is the backpack on the way out, if there's this, if there's that, okay? It's not for literally having to blow away my neighbors to keep them from my green beans, okay? That's not the kind of prepping that I want to do. That's not for me. If that's for you, that's you, but that's not what I am preparing for. Okay. And so what I was saying is that the stuff that you can get now, not just the force multipliers and their munitions, but also the canned food and the freeze-dried and the buckets of wheat, it can get very expensive. Very expensive. Even just the stuff that they have at the grocery store. There's a whole section in one of our grocery stores, and it's that grocery store throughout Utah has a section of food storage. It's a huge thing here. Okay. I've mentioned that I grew up Mormon. I am no longer that. I don't follow that faith, but there are some things that stay with you forever and ever and ever, because they do. Thank you, Redneck. I appreciate that. There's whole sections of just, it's food storage stuff, your buckets and your whatever in these grocery stores throughout the state of Utah, because it's a big thing here. But it can get very expensive. And I don't want to go the very expensive route. I want to continue utilizing things that I salvage or have already salvaged, things that I've couponed, because I've done a lot of couponing, and then finding more budget-friendly, frugal ways, hi Rose, of creating my prep, my stockpile, my stuff laid away for a rainy day, but that also we use on a regular basis. So we are going to come up with our own list, taking in things that you guys have shared and stuff that I'm going to be looking up and stuff that I have, and trying to cobble together, if you will, our own stockpile, our prepping. So let's look up a prepping list. You guys tell me, whether on the live stream or the rebroadcast, what things you already have. And I several of you have said that you were inspired to go ahead and get to work on your own bag, or to start it all because you hadn't done it, or to revamp your own. Hi, Anne. I'm so glad you're here. So, okay. You guys tell me which of these you would have in yours or already have. Okay, so this is from AARP, a reliable source. It says, well, and it's talking about the wildfires. It's specifically related to the wildfires, and it's talking about California, but we have wildfires going on all over Utah right now too. They're in a lot of places, not just California. So these things will hold true regardless of where you live, at least a lot of them. Okay, so the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has a list of information targeted specifically for older Americans facing an emergency. Interesting. Okay, which would make sense because this is from AARP, which is a group that advocates for older people. So, hi Vicki, thanks for being here. Okay, here are the things, but I don't think you have to be older for these things to apply. All right. I mean, I'm no spring chicken, so a lot of these do apply to me, but I'm going to look at several different lists. Okay. And we are, like I said, we're going to cobble together what things make sense for our family. Okay. So a 3-day minimum supply of medications. Okay. All right. I have some first aid supplies in the backpack, but no, I do not have a 3-day supply of medications in the bag. So we will do that. Along with a cooler and ice packs if your medications require refrigeration. Mine don't, but that's something to think about. And we have found, oh my God, so many coolers and reusable ice packs in the dumpsters over the years. Yeah, so that we could absolutely do that. Let's see, and also medical supplies if needed, such as syringes. So for me, it would be more things like my dry needles that I use for the dry needling because my body's a burning down circus. It would be things like that. It would be braces, not, braces, but well, actually my son has braces, so supplies for his braces, but also, hi Diane, good afternoon to you. But also braces for feet, hands, ankles, wrists, because that's something we use in our family a lot, a heck of a lot. Judy, EpiPens, absolutely. You guys know Mama has used a lot of EpiPens in her day. So, and I didn't even have one in the bag. So we will put one of those in the bag. Let's see. Okay, what else? Contact lens solution, glasses and or hearing aids, and extra batteries for people who need them. Yes. Oh my God. You know what I'm going to do? I don't think in the midst of total disaster that I'm going to necessarily want to put contacts in. So I'm going to put an extra pair of glasses. This isn't for a trip, Vicki. This is emergency prepping, like a bug out bag, an emergency backpack, something you can grab in the event of, a catastrophic situation so that you could survive for 3 days. If, society breaks down, and you're not able to get to the grocery store or the pharmacy, don't apologize. Please don't apologize, Vicki. Yeah, if you weren't here at the beginning of this, then you wouldn't know what we were up to. So please don't apologize for that. And I'm happy to clarify. And I should be clarifying regularly throughout this, knowing that people come and go. But no, this is your bug out bag for emergencies. So yeah, I think I will put an extra pair of glasses. Hi, Joanne Van Hook. I'll put an extra pair of glasses in there instead of contact lenses and contact solution. I feel like, and yeah, you guys are saying put sanitizer spray and things like that. Absolutely. Yes. But also, I just don't think, I'm thinking of the different emergency situations, ones that come to mind: floods, fires, earthquakes. It's not likely that it's going to be a very sanitary situation. Vicki, I highly recommend it. I do. You could do this right along with us. We're going to be working on a lot of this over the next few weeks. And doing videos of it, of course. I just don't feel like it's going to be a sanitary situation where I'm going to want to be putting things in and out of my eyeballs. I don't know. Plus, contact lenses are super duper expensive. Super duper expensive. And so I don't want to I mean, obviously I would ideally be using the stuff in there and switching it out more regularly like I used to do, but I don't want to put contact lenses in there. I don't want to. So I'll put glasses. Okay. Oh, this is good. An identification band with your full name. You could do like dog tags too, or even a tattoo of your pertinent information. A list of any allergies and a family member contact number. Okay. Let's see. Information about your medical devices, including oxygen, walkers, wheelchairs. The information should include model numbers and the vendor of the products. Okay. Documents. I saw one of you say something about documents. Documents in a waterproof bag. They should include a personal care plan, so like a DNR or something like that. Your specific wishes. And, just any needs that you happen to have, if you need to have insulin, if you need to, whatever, it should be listed there. Let's see. Contact information for family members, a medication list, including the dosage. I've never thought of doing that. Exact name, which would be funny because I have an incredibly long name. My actual legal name is really, really long. And not a lot of people know my full name. So yeah. So I could put that on there. Okay. Let's see. But also tell me, what documents would you guys put in there? It says documents, and I get that. There's certain documents you're going to want to have, and I'll continue on this in a minute. But my concern, if you're, like I said, it's not going to likely be a sanitary time nor a very controlled time. And so, but eventually, ideally, the disaster will end. And I know you're just trying to stay alive in the situation, but I'm one that does like to think about the future. And if and when we survive that disaster, do I want to risk having people have access to certain documents? You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, Christine, everything is on our phones to an extent. But depending on what catastrophe happens, there's a good chance you're not going to have access to your phones. I mentioned in the video the other day, or was it yesterday or whenever it was, that I was a nanny in Connecticut, so the other side of the country, during 9/11, and there was no way to call anybody. And our internet at the time, some of us will remember, was through your phone line. So phones were down, which meant no internet, and cell phones were still quite new, and all of that was shut down. It was all shut down. So you didn't have access to any of that. So we cannot count on our phones. Okay. So, so driver's license. Okay. Maybe a copy of your birth certificate. Even that I'm a little nervous about. I'm thinking a passport or a driver's license is what I'm thinking as far as official documents. But if you guys can think of other documents that it would behoove one to include in their emergency kit, you let me know. So what else does it say? It says, so the medication list, including the dosage, and I need to do that. Pharmacy information and the prescribing doctor for each medication. I did not think of that. Now, you don't have to be a more seasoned, mature adult to, that's using like AARP to need a list of your medications. I have been on so many different medications for this burning down circus for years and years and years. And I've never thought of, I should have something that says, this is who she got it from. Here's her primary care doctor. Here's her specialist for this, her specialist for that, her specialist for this, her specialist for that. I did not think of any. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Let's see. And your dentist. Oh my God. Definitely include your dentist. Whoever might have access to your dental records. I know that's not something we necessarily want to have to think about that. That's pretty gruesome to think about. But recent horrible events have made it clear that depending on how you die, you might need either dental records or DNA to be identified. So, dentist. And it doesn't say this on here, I don't think, but yeah, some kind of access to your DNA. And I know that can get scary, and we want to be careful with stuff like that, just as we want to be careful. Hi, Rita. Just as we want to be careful with like our social security numbers and stuff like that. But is there a copy, a reliable copy of your DNA, a sample rather, somewhere? Is there a sample somewhere so that, you could be compared to? These are things to think about. I hate the idea of that, but without going into details or turning this into anything else, hi, Laura, there were children in the Uvalde situation that were identified by either DNA or dental records. Yeah, there's a fun, pleasant thought for the morning. Anyway, so it's things that, unfortunately, if you want to be identified and if you want your family to have certain closure, those are things that we do need to think about, as unpleasant as they are. Yeah, so what else? Let's see. A list of food or medical allergies. Yes, I used to wear a medic alert bracelet, and I haven't in a long time because I went through the 5 years of Xolair monthly shots, which really helped. Hi, Alan Stevens, which really helped with my allergic response. But it still would make sense to wear a medic alert bracelet. It would. One of you said, yeah, that'll all get figured out. The police will figure that out beyond the 3 days. And sometimes they will. Sometimes they will figure all that stuff out, but not always. And though I have said I'm not actually preparing for like the zombie outbreak, but I'm preparing more for kind of a flood, a fire, an earthquake, but at the same time, keeping in mind, it might take weeks. There were people, let's go back to Hurricane Katrina. There were people who were still stranded way after 3 days. Okay, there were still bodies and things being collected much later. Look at all the different tsunamis, you might end up in a mass burial situation waiting to be identified. And your pretty face is not going to last. Mom's not going to be able to recognize who you are, unfortunately. So there's different things. You know what I mean? There's different things. Yeah, closure for your family, Laura, as morbid as it is, okay. What else? Copies of photo IDs. Oh, and you guys, this has so many things you guys keep saying. So you're wonderful. You are wonderful. Fountains of information and wonderful ideas. It does say medical insurance cards. Yep. A durable power of attorney and or medical power of attorney documents. I know I have one on file at my doctor's office and at the hospital, but I don't have one that like I could bring with me. So that's something I will add to my list. This is interesting. Cash money to be used if automatic teller and credit card machines are not working. Do any of you, hi Vasaka, let's just throw this out there. Do any of you carry cash anymore? Or do you Venmo everything or put it on your credit card or whatever, or debit? I know that I very rarely carry cash anymore, except around my birthday because I'm gifted cash. But I don't regularly carry cash. So I think it would make sense to put some cash. Not a ton, but some cash. Now, if society completely falls apart and breaks down, cash isn't even going to matter. It's not going to have any value. You're going to need chickens to trade for, whatever it is that you need, okay? But for a moderate disaster, cash might come in handy. It also recommends additional supplies like face coverings, soap, hand sanitizer, and disinfecting wipes. Then we have another list. This one is the Department of Homeland Security's ready.gov, which incidentally, the government has a zombie apocalypse readiness list. And we're going to pull that up next, okay? That exists. It actually exists. That's not to say that, oh, they think there's going to be zombies. No, 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 no. It is rather that it catches people's attention, okay? Saying, oh, the government has a zombie apocalypse readiness list. It catches people's attention. And anyway, there is a list, and we're going to look at that. So hang in there. Okay, but this basic emergency kit recommends the following. One, and I've mentioned some of these, 1 gallon of water per day per person for at least 3 days. And like I've mentioned, there's 5 people in my family. So that would be very heavy. And one of you had said in the comments, each person should have their own backpack. And I'm inclined to agree because my kids aren't babies anymore. And they could at least carry some of it on their own. Mariah or Reagan, please don't play with that. Thank you. So that would make more sense in the water carrying. I don't know though how far or how long a 10-year-old could carry 3 gallons of water. So I don't know. I don't know how realistic that one is. I know water is your most necessary thing that you want to have, but besides this being a budgeted approach and a frugal approach, it also, I want it to be as realistic as possible. I've seen that some people, family members included, their emergency kit includes one of those ginormous blue drums, a plastic container. They're like 50-gallon drums, 50-gallon drums with all their supplies in there. Now, if you're able to stay in your house during the disaster, whatever that disaster is, if you're able to hole up in your house, then that ginormous 50-gallon drum of supplies is going to do just fine. It's going to be great. Rain barrel. Yeah, that, Laura. You'll be fine. But if that's your emergency supplies and you don't have anything you can carry with you and you're not the Incredible Hulk, I just don't think that's very realistic. And so what I want to do with mine is make it as budget friendly as possible, but also as realistic as possible so that you can actually use it if you have to leave the house, and hopefully you won't have to leave the house. Hopefully you can stay in your house, utilize the rain you've collected, utilize your stockpile in the hopefully not flooded basement, hopefully, okay? And we'll do more videos on that. But this is specifically if you need to run out of the house and take something with you so that you're not running out naked in the middle of a fire. You might run out naked, no judgment there, but you have something to throw on before the Red Cross arrives to help you, okay? So you have something to put on when the neighbors all come out to see what's going on. And I'm going to add a robe to my bag. So anyway, you never know when a fire is going to happen, guys. You don't know. Situations happen. Okay, so anyway, so the water. 1 gallon of water per person per day for at least 3 days. Then at least a 3-day supply of non-perishable food. You can get by with a lot less food than you can water. So if it comes down to being as realistic as possible, what you can reasonably carry, yeah, definitely focus on the water. But I've also seen some people have wagons, like, your little red wagon. They're not necessarily little red wagons, but they have a wagon with their stuff. I wonder if you could do that. I don't have room for a wagon at my front door. But if you had like a coat closet, maybe that would be a place to put a wagon. And a wagon would be nice to have. What if one of you ends up with a bum foot? We're going to throw you in the wagon and roll you along with us. I don't know. Okay. I also want to make this as fun as possible, as lighthearted as possible. Okay. What else? Let's see. a battery-powered or hand crank radio, which we have one. It's not in the bag, but we do have one that we actually found brand new in the box in the dumpsters. Yeah, and it's a hand crank, along with an NOAA weather radio that sends an automatic tone in case of an emergency alert. A flashlight and extra batteries. Yes! Oh my God, yes! I need to put that in there. And Judy just said a roller bag. Why do I not have my roller bag down here? I have my roller bag left over from college that had all my stuff in it. Yeah. Why am I not using it's in the attic somewhere? Why am I not using that? That makes so much more sense. So much more sense. Or you can just have a standard backpack that happens to have wheels and a handle thing. Whatever. Anyway,
suitcase.
Let's see. Or Reagan says a suitcase.
Also, can I do Minecraft?
No. Let's see. A cell phone with chargers and a backup battery. Because even if you don't have access to any towers, there's no actual cell service for phone calls or texts, you know that our phones do 9 million other things. And there was this show that I watched a million years ago. I believe it was called Revolution. And it was something to do with nanobots and like all electricity went down or something. Anyway, but something that someone had that I thought was neat, or it wasn't neat. It was like, oh, duh. That's where all your pictures are, you know, of your family. And if you lose all your pictures in a house fire or whatever, or you never can get back to your house, you still have pictures on your phone. You might never get to make another phone call with that phone, but you do at least have pictures, you know. So that makes sense. Let's see. And a whistle to signal for help. Well, we found that there were 3 whistles in our bag, so that's great. All right, let's look up. This is fun. I'm having fun with you guys. I hope you're having fun. Okay. The government zombie preparedness list. Okay, so, all right, check this out. The Pentagon isn't the only governmental department to use zombies as a learning tool. The CDC has also played off the popularity of The Walking Dead and other zombie-related cultural phenomena, releasing a zombie preparedness plan to better inform the public of what to do if or when a disaster strikes. So, let's see. Shall we? Let's see. Oh, did you guys see Fernicus? I didn't realize she had showed Fernicus. Okay. All right. This is a whole story about it. I don't want the whole story about it. I just want the list. Hold on, Mimi.
Oh, look at the camera.
What? Oh my God, Kitty! All right. Where is the list? I want the actual list. Oh, there it is. Crisis and emergency risk communications. Blah, blah, blah. Why am I having such a hard time with this? Oh, this must be it. Okay. All right, here we go. Is it going to make me download it? I don't want to have to download it. Why is that? I should have had this pulled up before we started this, but like I said, hi, Renee. Hello, my love. I'm so glad you're here. But I had visitors this morning and it was a lot of fun. And so I didn't get this pulled up yet. Maybe this one is it. Jeez. Some of the pictures. Sorry. So when you're looking up, okay, if you can, go ahead and look it up. Some of the pictures that are popping up when I'm looking at this are so funny. Oh. Let's see. Oh, here's what they call it. The CDC's Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse Guide. That's how they call it. Okay. Why can't I find the actual damn list? It's what it's taking me to is all of these articles about it or sites that are having fun with it. But not the actual list. Maybe this one is it. Here's hoping. Oh, this is actually the CDC page. Okay, so maybe this is it. Ah, God, here it is. Jeez Louise, they don't have as fun of pictures as everyone else that's talking about it. That's unfortunate. They really should. But anyway. Okay, so take action. Natural disasters, disease outbreaks, and emergencies can have widespread and even long-lasting impacts on supplies, services, and the public healthcare systems. We're all very aware of this now. Don't wait for an emergency to happen to prepare. Use the time before and between events to gather essential supplies, learn self-help skills. We will be doing some of that too. And build the self-confidence you need to respond quickly and constructively in a crisis. While services and supplies are limited, it is important to have the personal needs, prescriptions, paperwork, power sources, and practical skills you need to respond. And then they have different sections. So there's personal needs, prescriptions, practical skills, power sources, and paperwork. Which one should we start with? Huh?
Well,
Which one?
The paperwork one has a keyboard.
They just gave me a really fun idea. For paperwork, what do they have? A flash drive. Why didn't I think of that? Okay, so I saw several of you were saying put it in a Ziploc bag, your documents and stuff. What if it's all on a flash drive? And also in a zippy bag. Or have both. I don't know. Okay, go play. Let's see. Because we should be able to at least, well, no, that's not necessarily true. We don't know what level of disaster there will be. And our rescuers might not, yeah, Laura, our rescuers might not have the time or inclination to upload our flash drive. So I would say both. I would say have both. Papers, a couple of documents, and a flash drive weigh almost nothing. So also, pictures. I was talking about how, we have pictures on our phone. Wouldn't it be great to also have a flash drive that has your most important photographs? You know, family and events and situations, whatever. It would make sense to have those on a flash drive also. Okay. So let's start with personal needs, though I do feel like that's going to be a lot of the same stuff that we've already talked about, but let's do it anyway. So emergency water supply, emergency food supply, ready to feed formula if you still have babies, nutrition drinks, things, that are high calorie, high protein types of things, stuff if you happen to be someone with dietary restrictions, have some of that kind of stuff. Because you might not be able to get gluten-free stuff during the apocalypse. You know what I mean? Yeah, Lisa, absolutely. Pictures of your family if you get separated. Absolutely. Because, during every major disaster, and this was also included in the fabulous Cillian Murphy horror movie 28 Days Later, there will be walls. Many of you I know remember this in every situation. Walls of printed off pictures of missing family members. Well, if you have it all on a flash drive, it's going to be a lot easier, I think, to access those up-to-date pictures of your missing loved ones. Prescription medications, assistive technologies, I've never heard it called that, but that's your eyeglasses, your hearing aids, wheelchairs, and walkers. Asthma medications. Why isn't there an inhaler or an EpiPen in my emergency backpack? blood sugar monitors. Let's see, antibacterial wipes, nasal cannulas, syringes, catheters, blood test strips, first aid reference. So instructions, not just the supplies, but how to actually use the supplies. Non-latex gloves, a thermometer that is easy to use and to read, and a replaceable battery if it's digital. Waterproof bandages and gauze, tweezers and scissors, antibiotic creams and ointments, infant and child care supplies, pet supplies, and then you can open up those to get even more information. For instance, on the child care, let's see, what else does it say? A large plastic bin or box to put things in. Unless that's on wheels or it's in a wagon, I don't think a large bin or box is a great idea. Not for getting out of your house. Now, to have in, let her go. Let her be. She will bite you. Let her go. Let her go. Thank you. A plastic bin of that kind of stuff would be fine to have in your house, like I said, if you're able to stay in your house during the disaster. But we're focusing more at this point on stuff that you can take with you. So I would say make sure it's realistically something you can take with you when the roads are all broken up and you don't have a car and, you know, stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Oh, this is an interesting idea. Why didn't I think of this? Put an updated copy of your checklist inside of that container. That's a good idea. That is a really good idea. And then it even goes down into more specific things. Do you have pets? Here's what you need. Do you have a baby or toddler? Here's what you need. Do you have children or a dependent? Here's what you need. Here are the things that every family needs during an emergency. Oh, so these are things I had not thought of. One of you had mentioned in the comments a manual can opener. This also includes mess kits, paper plates, plastic cups, utensils, paper towels, first aid kit, flashlight, extra batteries, battery powered or hand crank radio, whistle, local maps. Oh my God, I did not think of a map. When's the last time that those of us here in 2022 thought of needing a paper map? Rita, have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here, Rita. Do you even know how to read a paper map? Do your kids know how to read a paper map? That is not Siri telling them or Google telling them, turn left, turn right, turn left. That's a skill and that's a video. So we're going to. We're gonna get a hold of some paper maps. I know I have an atlas that we found in the bins once upon a time. So we're gonna do that. Sleeping bag or warm blanket. We have the little emergency blankets because they take up no room and weigh nothing. Cell phone charger with extra battery and solar charger. Oh, what about this? An extra set of car keys and house keys. Hey, I didn't think of that. Didn't think of that. A change of clothes appropriate for your climate and sturdy shoes for each person in the house. Matches in a waterproof container or resealable plastic bag. Toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, hand sanitizer. Cash or traveler's checks. Copies of important family documents. Here's what they specifically recommend. Medical records, which would include like your DNR or your medical power of attorney, insurance policies, ID card, and bank records. I don't like the bank record part of it. Hi, Sandy. That's what I was talking about earlier. If we end up surviving this disaster, I don't want someone getting a hold of my bank records, because I don't know what some ne'er-do-well might do with my bank records and that kind of access. And will it all eventually get sorted out? Maybe, possibly, hopefully. But while we're trying to rebuild society, I don't know that, will banks even exist anymore? Will that be a thing? Will all your money have disappeared into the ether? But it's also not going to be a priority for law enforcement and related departments to put my bank situation back together. You know, they're trying to put the government back together. They're not going to care so much about someone got into my bank account and stole my identity. That's going to be way on the back burner. I don't know. Family and emergency contact information. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so on a lot of the things, it says, you know, on stuff we've been looking at, it's 3-day supply of this, 3-day supply of that, whatever. But on here, in a zombie situation, at least a 2-week supply of prescription medicines for each family member, including medicine name, dose, pharmacy name and number, and doctor's name and number. So that's interesting. A, because you're having to carry a lot more, and B, because unless you're hopping the border and stocking up on medications, which I do on occasion, it's going to be tricky to have an up-to-date, unexpired 2 weeks of medication in your bag. Especially controlled substances, things that your insurance will only pay for once every 30 days, you know? So yes, you can still do it, but you're going to have to really be on top of it and switching it out every 2 weeks, which might behoove you to do. I don't know. That's a funny sound. Finally, and this is just if you have a family. Just if you have a family, okay? These are the things. But they do also get more specific, okay? Mimi, please take the cat over there. We will do a live stream together, you and me. I promise that will happen, but it's not right now. Non-prescription medications such as pain relievers, anti-diarrhea medicine, antacids, and laxatives. Yeah, absolutely. Those are things should be in there. This, guys, I don't know. I don't know about this. I understand you need to keep kids entertained. Kids get bored. You might be stuck in a situation, in a shelter situation where your kids are out of their minds because they don't have their Switch or Xbox or cell phone to, you know, burn their brains out with. And so it does say things like books, games, puzzles, favorite stuffed animal or blanket, paper, pencil, markers, crayons. This one I would absolutely agree with. Identification to be carried by each child in case your family members become separated. Absolutely. And Cynthia's like a pack of cards. I can see carrying a pack of cards. But to bring all this other stuff, I mean, you're already carrying 3 gallons of water per person. What I want you guys to do after this live stream, when you get a minute, when you get a chance, I want you to go fill a pitcher of water. Fill a pitcher with water, a gallon jug, or get your gallon of milk out of the fridge. Now I want you to go, if it's not too hot, even if it is too hot, go walk around the block. Go walk around the block. And goddamn, this is another video. Sorry for the language. This is another video challenge that we're going to do. We're going to do this when my foot can walk again. We are going to take, and I'm going to do it with the kids. I'm going to have the kids do it too, because hell, why not? Okay, let her out. Mimi, feliz, déjala. We are going to try to walk around the block or down a lane, each carrying, starting with just a gallon of water. And we will do the life straws. Guys, I'm on board with the life straws. My husband has one. We're going to do that. I know, Cynthia, it's going to be so much fun. But do this, okay? This is homework number 1, especially if you're the kind that thinks you're going to carry a whole Rubbermaid tote with you when the zombies come. Or even worse, the 50-gallon drum. Okay, even if it's on wheels, you're going to be pushing a 50-gallon drum down the road when you're trying to dodge the zombies? I don't think that's going to work. Get your gallon of water or milk or whatever. I'm not your judge. And you go walk around the block with that gallon. Let's see how that works out for you. I would love to see how that works out for you. And you're going to see how it works out for us. We are adding that to the list. That is going to happen. Okay. So just the gallon of water, which is an actual real life necessity for staying alive, living, and breathing, is water. What about what it says here? If you have kids, your books, your games, your puzzles, and other fun things to do. Really? Are you going to? I don't think you're going to. Those things are going to be left behind, and your kids are going to experience some real life, good for them boredom real quick. Boredom is good for you, and it's good for your kids. It's so good for you. Anyway, one more, and then we'll go back to the regular, the more broad categories. Do you have a baby or a toddler? Here's the things you need. A well-stocked diaper bag, at least 1 pack of diapers, at least 2 packs of baby wipes, baby powder. Baby powder is not a necessity, guys. And it's actually, there's been so much that has come out about how it's not good for you to use baby powder. But anyway, diaper rash cream, baby wash and lotion, resealable plastic bags for stashing the dirty diapers and clothes, ready-to-feed infant formula in single-serving cans or bottles, disposable cups, 1 to 2 boxes of nursing pads, burp rags or smaller blankets, pacifiers at least 2, teething tablets or gel, because you got to keep the baby quiet when the zombies are out and about. I'm ad-libbing, adding my own. Hope you don't mind. Infant pain reliever with acetaminophen, a bulb syringe. You got to suck out those nostrils because that can get really loud too. Toddler snacks, extra clothes, extra emergency blankets, receiving blankets, a thermos, a small camp stove for boiling water for sanitizing. Good Lord, if you have small children during the apocalypse, you guys might as well just kumbaya together and sing Nearer My God to Thee, because jeez, you're gonna carry around a camp stove? Am I being too like a camp stove? If you are to the point that you want to bring all your books, and I'm a reader, graduated with a degree in English, okay, I get it. I love the books too. But Laura, shut up. Who hurt me? So many people, Laura. Oh my God, don't get me started. But if you feel like you need to have all your books, you're going to have your camp stove, you're going to have your wipe warmer for your baby's butt, build the bunker. Just build the damn bunker, okay? Because you're doomed. You're doomed otherwise. You are at a point where you need a bunker. Sorry, I'm yelling at you. We're going to make sure we've got all of our coloring books. We've got our sketchbooks. We've got our trace and color by numbers books, all of the corresponding Crayolas and the pencils with every shade of every color. Because our kids need to be entertained while we are holding up in the Superdome as the world rages on to disaster around us. These are suggestions, okay? You can't have all of it with you. You can't, okay? Which is a huge part of why we're doing this, to try to be, as realistic as possible, but also prepared. Will we have a tote of things in our home? Yes, we will, okay? Because we might be able to hole up in our house. That maybe will happen. But in our stuff where we're just trying to survive for 3 days, I think you can make it by leaving a bookmark in your Pride and Prejudice that you were reading. You can leave a bookmark and come back to it 3 days later. I think you'll be okay for those 3 days. If you're not going to be okay, you've got other problems that should be dealt with before the apocalypse. So, then it also, do you have pets? And I did mention that once you have a pet, and we have brought Furnicus into our home and into our lives. Well, she made her way into our home and into our lives. we now have the responsibility for her. Laura, we are talking both, okay? We're talking both. 3 days and also the potential of weeks. We're going to explore both. But if you're so focused on the weeks thing, no, you just need to have a bunker. You just need to have a bunker, okay? Let's see. But if you bring that pet into your life, or you let that pet into your life, you are now responsible for them. I know that it happens in rescue situations. It's rescue the humans first. I get it. That's a common human thought process. You rescue the human first. But I'll be damned if I'm going to leave Fernicus behind if there is any way at all that I can bring her with me. And I know many of you feel the same way about your animals. In fact, you prefer your animals to the people. And I don't blame you anymore. I don't blame you anymore. So here is what you need for your pets. 3-day supply of water for a pet. I'm not sure how much water a pet needs in a day, so I'm going to have to look that up. But also keep in mind, what time of year is it? They're going to need a different, in the height of summer in Arizona than they will need in winter in Minnesota. There's going to be different needs. Pet food. That doesn't mean that you need all of her Temptations treat snacks in every flavor, but you need something to keep her alive, because I'm going to tell you, sorry, we're getting animated today. I have not had coffee. I haven't had coffee still. No, it's okay. I'm going to have it in a minute. But your cat, she will eat you. I have no hard feelings about that. None. When your cat gets desperate, she will eat you. Or he. Or they. They're going to eat you.
Who?
Your cat. They will find something to eat. And it could be you or your kin. Okay? No, Laura, I haven't had coffee. I just have not had coffee. Kin is an old-fashioned word for family. Anyway, Reggie, will you go get me that coffee and put some yummy creamer in it?
Okay,
Mama needs it. Oh my God. Okay, so you're right. You are right, Cynthia. Not if they are eaten first. You're right. And that's a different thing. And I'm not going to say what I would or wouldn't do in a situation. I'm not going to say it. And especially not if, Fernicus is anywhere around and can hear me.
She's right up front.
Okay, she's out front. Okay, listen. Here's the thing. Reagan, will you go get that coffee for me? Oh my God.
And also, guess what?
No, please just go get me the coffee. Then I'll guess what.
Been on for 3 hours.
No, I haven't. I've been on for an hour and 12 minutes. In a desperate situation, I don't think I would eat my cat, but I would absolutely feed it to my kids. Okay. Get me the coffee. Oh my God. Reggie, he's staring at me like,
God, stay at the coffee.
okay. Food and water bowls. Although I think if an animal is hungry enough, they will eat the Friskies off the ground. It doesn't necessarily have to be in their embossed with their personalized engraved name, Cookie the cat porcelain bowl. I think they can manage. Okay. Just like your kids can manage. Hi, crazy cat. Just like your kids can manage without their Nintendo Switch. Okay. Hi, Grammys. How are you? You walked into something here, Grammys. Okay. Then your pet's medical records and a 2-week supply of medicines if they have any. But then there's also a PDF of a pet emergency kit checklist. That's nice. Okay, picture it.
What kind of creamer?
Any of them. Picture it. It's the year 2026. Utah. Fernicus the cat and the Frugal Family. We are on our foray out into the apocalypse destroyed ruin of Utah. And we bring Fernicus. The CDC zombie list recommends strongly that we bring disposable litter trays. paper toweling. Also, puppy pads.
You're not gonna be in your
What?
disposable bags.
What? Disposable bags for cleanup, because when you're trying to outrun the zombie hordes,
You pick up your
and
disposable-
also make
No,
sure
no,
that you
I'm
bring your beloved kitty cat, Reagan. You are a savior. Thank you, son.
A quarter of that is just creamer.
He says a quarter of that is just creamer. He knows his mama.
I may or may not have lost some to the counter.
So, while you're running from the hordes of zombies that are saying brains, brains, and coming after you, and you do manage to save your kitty cat, your beloved kitty cat, you still need to stop and make sure you pick up the poop.
Disposable bags for cleanup.
Pick up the poop.
While you're running for your life, just take your time, pick up the poop, throw it away.
I needed this, you guys. As much even as I needed coffee, I needed this. This, oh my God.
After I assess the laundry, can I use the computer?
Yeah. Well, you also got to fold and put away a basket.
Okay.
Okay. A crate or sturdy carrier. That makes sense.
Not
Recent
the-
photos of your pets in case you need to do a lost poster. That makes sense. But I'm sorry, this next thing on the list, toys and or treats, are not happening.
They're not needed. Maybe a string. To
We
have
are-
the cat follow.
Okay, yeah, our cat, luckily, her favorite toy is a stretchy string from Reagan's backpack. I've bought her all those other toys. She doesn't give a damn about those other toys most of the
Except for
time.
balls.
Okay.
And good bell.
The string. We'll bring, all right, CDC. We will bring the string.
So she at least
I'm willing to compromise. We'll bring the string because you don't know. She might be venturing. I'm going like Will Smith, I Am Legend here. This is what we're channeling. She might sneak into a zombie infested place in the darkness, and I need to coax her back out because I can't go in and get her. I'll have the string.
Or we could put a leash on her and I can hold her.
I just. Oh, this is so fun. Oh, you guys. This is great. Let's get off of this list. This is ridiculous. Okay. All right. Then let's go to just a completely different category that they recommend. All right. Because that's silliness. Practical skills. All right. This is one I'm excited about. Okay. The basics. This is gonna. This should not be so funny. Oh my gosh, this should not be so funny. But consider the world we've lived in. Okay? Consider the world we've lived in the past almost 3 years. And this is totally warranted. Okay. Practical skills are self-help and life-saving skills and lessons that you can learn often easily, teach to others, and practice every day to prepare and protect yours and others' health. Most practical skills do not require special certification or formal training to perform, but you do need education. Here we go. The basics. And I'm glad they at least put that this is the basics. This is, oh my God in heaven, you should at least know how to do this. Why don't you know how to do this? Case in point, the first thing on the list. Okay. You guys know I'm going through a lot this week. Okay. It's my daughter's birthday. She is in a residential facility. I get to visit her for a half hour for her 16th birthday. So please bear with this. Okay.
Craziness.
Mama is doing her best right now. The basics. First one that it says. Learn. I gotta be able to say it.
The right way to wash.
Cállate. You know it's serious when the Spanish comes out. Learn the right way to wash your hands.
Dub.
Now I'm going to laugh at that because, oh my God. But guys, if we have learned nothing at all in the last almost 3 years, it is the fact that people don't know how to properly wash their damn hands. And a great majority, and this is terrifying, a great majority of the population walks out of the bathroom at the Walmart without ever going to the sink. It's true.
In fact, a YouTuber that I watch too.
Okay. Now, Crazy Cat brings up a very valuable point. This is a very valuable point, which really just comes down to priorities. Okay. She says, or he, whichever, Crazy Cat says, yeah, I'll spend all that time washing my hands while a zombie is trying to eat me. While carrying your 3 gallons of water and your cat's carrying case and your baby's diaper warmer and your son's complete set of dragon books. The complete set. So, guys, learn how to wash your hands. This is so obvious.
It'll help
This
so much.
this is a basic everyday life skill. Wash them entirely and sing, what is the song?
ABC.
No, Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Sing it to yourself, be glad you're alive, and wash your hands properly. Okay, shh.
Today, no, not today.
Shh.
For anybody that would be.
Wash your hands properly. Unless a zombie is coming after you at that moment. It can wait. Okay. Okay, this next one is very important and very serious. And I am going to, because I've had some experience with situations, and so this one really hits close to home. Learn how to use a portable generator safely in your bunker to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. We have had to have the whole fire department to our home and the neighborhood shut down at least once, but the fire department to our home at least twice because of a gas leak. 2 different gas leaks. So this is a for real thing. And it was only, and I'm so embarrassed admitting this, but this is reality. I only finally got my carbon monoxide detector out of the package and set up this year. As I sit here talking to you. That's terrible. That's shameful. It's shameful. But at least it's done now. So at least there's that. Like I've said many times, I'm slow at almost anything I do, even though I talk 800 miles an hour. But I do eventually get things done. And sometimes before disaster strikes again. So, so anyway, guys, this still happens on a regular basis that entire families go the way of all the earth in their sleep because of carbon monoxide poisoning. So I love that a lot of these skills that they're talking about, these basic life skills, absolutely apply in a zombie apocalypse. But also they are things, you guys, we should just be implementing and applying and knowing in our daily lives. Wash your damn hands. And get your carbon monoxide detector out of the package. Make sure it has the battery in. Test it. Make sure it's working. These are things you should just be doing. Okay? Okay. Learn how to create and store an emergency water supply. So I know I mentioned in that video that I had some 2-liter bottles of water Like I had just used old soda bottles and had 2-liter bottles of water in my pantry downstairs. And I still do, and I will continue doing that. Is that the best way to store water? No, it is not. But is it easy? Yes, it is. And will that water, no matter how much plastic leaches into it from your Mountain Dew bottle, that water can still be used for a shower, okay? Or to help you grow something in your bunker when, you get the grow lights set up on a, hopefully, we're not in nuclear winter, so you can still use a solar powered thing, and you're growing carrots in your bunker. That water that was in your Mountain Dew bottle is still going to be fine for that. Is it going to be potable water? No. There's these things to consider. There's better containers for long-term water storage, but it would be better to have something that is still usable in an emergency than to have nothing. And even in an emergency, even the plastic leached water is better than no water when it comes down to the fact that you'll die after 3 days of no water. So drink the plastic leaching filled water rather than just die, okay? Make sense? Okay. If you can't afford or get right now a fancy water container, fill your Diet Coke bottle after you're done with it, fill it with water from the tap. It's better than nothing. And I think that's going to be another big part of our approach to all of this is going to be, it's better than nothing. Now, there's some things that are not better than nothing. That river water might not be better than nothing, and I'll explain. If you don't have your straw, your life straw, you might actually do better to err on the side of thirsting to death than pooping your pants to death by drinking the water. Which way do you want to go? Sometimes it's a matter of which way's worse. Okay? Because yes, you will die without water. Yes, you will. But if you drink water that has lots of nasty in it, and that gets into your system, you are losing every benefit of the water. Because all those little creepies and crawlies and creatures are going into your guts and they're pushing everything out, including your guts sometimes. That does happen. Literally, it's awful. So
does that happen to you?
No, my guts haven't come out. God. Thankfully, not yet. So we'll do something about that as well. That sometimes it's you're down to pick your poison. Which way's gonna be worse? You're gonna die anyway. Yes. Oregon Trail. Laura, I can always count on you for those fantastic references. You died of dysentery. It was giardia, whatever. Sometimes it'd be better to thirst to death, as miserable as that is, than to, drink the salty beach water. That's first going to make you insane before it kills you. You will literally jump off the boat into the nest of sharks if you drink the salt water. That has happened too. I've watched a lot of documentaries. Anyway, okay. Well, what if you can't boil it though, Laura? What if you're in a situation there is no boiling happening? There's no iodine. There's no life straw. You're gonna go. Okay, it's gonna happen. You will meet your maker or whatever is out there. It's just a certainty. Let's decide which is going to be the less miserable, horrific way to go. Sometimes it does come down to that, and I hate that that's a thing, but that is a thing. That is the cost of life. None of us gets out of here alive. Okay. So, all of that to say, learn how to create and store an emergency water supply, but also know how to and have the means to treat water when you're out in the apocalypse. Okay. And then, wait, there's more. Learn how to perform CPR. I know this is getting gruesome, Cynthia, but zombies are gruesome. They want your brains. So, because of the pain. Let's see. So learn how to perform CPR. My husband and I took CPR certification classes several years ago. So we are certified, but it's been years. I would say at least 5 years. And so, Laura, shut up. You're such a nut. She's like, some of us are safe, when it comes to that they want our brains. But that is true. That's another thing these last 3 years have taught us. Okay, so what I am going to commit to do in this video series is to freshen up my CPR skills. Do you know what song it is that you're supposed to pump to? Well, it's Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. So I think it is incumbent on all of us. It is our civic and social duty. Pick up the poop. What is this turned into? But what I think we all have to do is when we're done here, whenever that ends up being, probably when I just absolutely can't hold it anymore and have to pee. But we all need to, as patriots of whatever place you happen to live, we need to go listen to the Bee Gees Staying Alive. I think we have no choice. If you want to be considered a productive member of society, a responsible citizen in your community, you need to go listen to that song and sing along so that you make sure the words, the rhythm, the beat are all burned into your mind. You need to do that today. Put that on your list at the top. Staying Alive. Now, that's all silliness, but really, that is the song that you use when you're pumping. That's the rhythm you should be going to. Just like when you're washing your hands, you need to be singing happy birthday. Well, when you're pumping, you're going, Staying Alive. Okay, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Who knew disco would save the world? Let's see. Oh, and also, so I will freshen up my CPR skills and teach my children the basics. That is going to happen in a video. Stay tuned. But also, it says, learn how to use an automated external defibrillator until help arrives. Now, often those machines that you'll find in airports and malls with little glass window, they often have step-by-step instructions on them, which is great. So there probably will be instructions on how to do it, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and look that up and make yourself familiar with see, it talks to you, it tells you what to do, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and try one out. Don't go sticking it on your pet or your partner, your spouse, your children, okay, to practice. It's where they shock people. Clear. Anyway,
pillow.
Use a pillow. Okay. But do make yourself familiar with them.
Or foam.
Okay. Let's see. If performed in the first few minutes of cardiac arrest, CPR can double or triple a person's chance of survival. And finally, learn personal non-pharmaceutical interventions to help slow the spread of respiratory illnesses. So things that are airborne. So when the zombie flu comes to town, learn how to protect yourself from it. So those are the very most basic skills that you want to know for in an emergency situation. How to wash your hands. How to use a portable generator safely. Learn how to create and store emergency water. Learn how to do CPR and how to use an AED. And then also how to protect yourself from respiratory illnesses and signs of the zombie flu. Which Cynthia asks, what are signs of the zombie flu? I can recommend several great movies has solid reference points. Solid. I would start with Shaun of the Dead. Not only is it entertaining, lots of fun. Simon Pegg, I mean, he is amazing. But it's also for the spoof that it is and the fun that it is, it actually gives you a lot of really good signs to look for. You notice people kind of sluggishly moving about, you know, they're not acting quite right. Pay attention to that. Pay attention. Really go through that movie, and maybe we'll do that too, and look for those signs shown in that movie. If it's more of an infected rather than a zombie training, or I mean a zombie situation, but it's more an infected situation, like the rage virus in 28 Days Later. You're gonna, if all of a sudden you're very meek, very mild, and they've had coffee already, Cynthia, be nice, but accurate, very accurate. If you're normally mild-mannered, frugal mama, I know those words do not go together, do they? They don't. That's so, but anyway, who's already had coffee, turns into some violent creature, hell-bent on attacking you, and not for fun reasons, then that's a problem. That is a problem. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Notice if people that regularly are calm, serene, good skin, all of a sudden start getting ornery at everybody, particularly in a bitey kind of way, and their eyes turn red, there's a problem. Okay, hold on, Mimi, I'm almost done. No, not yet. Let's see. If you sweep the kitchen.
Yay.
Let's see. What other practical skills? Let's finish up with quick tips, because I am going to need to pee here soon. Speaking of which, that is something we are going to do a video about. Not me having to pee necessarily, but can you, as a woman or a trans man, not yet all the way over there, can you comfortably pee without a toilet or somewhere to squat, depending on where you live in the world and what kind of facilities you happen to have? Can you do that? I know this seems so superfluous and stupid and like I'm just joking here. No, I'm actually not. I'm actually truly not joking.
Not joking.
Do you know how to do that? Because during a survival situation, even a temporary one that is likely to end positively, you do not want to walk around with wet pants. You don't. You don't want to walk around with urine-soaked pants. This is actually, as much as it sounds like I'm making a joke here, there is a joke there to be made, but no, I am being 100% serious on this. I've had coffee. I'm 100% serious on this. You don't want pee-soaked pants. A, the smell, my God. B, the discomfort, and your skin's gonna start rubbing raw. And you didn't pack extra clothes in your bag because, hello, you were carrying 3 gallons of water. So, plus another gallon for your pet. So now you've eaten her, so I guess now that water's for you. Anyway, so you don't want to have the problem of peeing in your pants. Or dripping on your pants. I guess in the worst case scenario, you're going to walk around naked. But what if it's, 45 degrees Fahrenheit outside? Well, now by this point, if you get the pants on, they're probably frozen to your butt. So anyway, not at 45 degrees, but eventually, yes. The point is, do you know how, without an appendage helping you pee or a toilet to sit on, the rest of us, and that's a good point, Cynthia, does the pee attract zombies? I don't know. That's another consideration. Do you know how to comfortably point and pee? Yes, crazy cat, that's where I'm getting to. Pee in a funnel. I actually ordered a few years ago, someone's on a motorbike. I ordered a pee funnel. I literally did. I absolutely did. Laura recommends a Tide pen. Okay, listen, I meant forever. No, and Cynthia, oh my God, I meant to do a review video of it, but I never got around to it. But I'm going to throw it in as part of these supplies and then try to do some kind of review video on the Grown Up channel. But it is literally there. You order it on Amazon. It's like $6 or $10, and it's made of silicone, and it's a funnel. It's wide here and goes into a thing, and it points away. It points away. So I recommend, and I'm gonna message the CDC and tell them to absolutely add this to their recommended list for those of us who don't have an extra appendage that we can point and shoot, you know, when we need to do our business. So get a funnel. And it's also for people who physically can't squat. There's plenty of us who have a hard time getting back up from squatting. You might fall into whatever you ended up doing anyway. That's not going to be fun either. So now not only are you covered in pee, but also, you know, muck and mud and dirt and leaves, you know, and bugs. Who knows? Okay. Judy, have a wonderful day at work. So have a funnel, but also know how to use it. It's interesting. I had been looking up at the time of wanting to, or thorn bush. Oh my God. Watch where you're peeing. Okay. Be aware of your surroundings. Especially when exposing such delicate parts. But, excuse me, when I had been looking into, you're so welcome, Laura. When I had been looking into doing a review video, hi, Deborah. Oh, you've come into it today, Deborah. I do hope you'll rewatch this entire disaster of a live stream. I've been having so much fun today. But I was looking into doing the review video of the funnel, the pee funnel. Yes, Deborah, a pee funnel. I was looking into it, and it strongly encouraged you to use it and get proficient at it before going out camping, before going out hiking, before taking it into your emergency supplies during the apocalypse. Because it actually takes some doing. And you might find that you're out there in the woods or the fields or whatever with the zombies. You gotta pee. And you only have one pair of pants and underclothes. So you got to bust out the funnel. What if you find you are suddenly stricken with stage fright? We're trying to go all alliterative there. You are suddenly stricken with stage fright. Out in the field, surrounded by the zombies. And these are not shambling zombies. These are running zombies. Yeah. You're like, but it's a funnel, and my body is like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. This is weird. I don't know how to use it without it ending up on my shoes. So practice using it first. But there's also more. Goodbye, Rita. Have a beautiful day. There's also more to it than just that. I love how the CDC used the whole zombie idea to encourage people to just be ready, for crying out loud, to be ready for emergencies, okay? They did it as an attention-grabbing device, all right? Humor is so helpful at helping people to learn things or to get important information across. Humor is also a survival mechanism that I have been employing a lot lately and will be employing and implementing throughout these videos. So please bear with me, okay? I'm gonna have fun with all this, but it's also facilitating some really good distribution of pertinent information, okay? So I'm telling you, know how to use your pee filter, ladies or people with those parts, okay? I'm telling you, in a funny way, know how to use it, okay? But I'm also saying, if you're gonna take a camp stove with you, have you ever used it? Do you know how to fire it up? Do you know what gas it takes? Do you know how to light a fire? These are legit concerns. Do you know how to light a fire, especially if you don't have an easy match? Do you know how? These seem like, especially for some of us more seasoned folks that have been around a while before, the internet, these seem like common sense. But common sense was also knowing how to read a roadmap, which a lot of people don't know how to do anymore. So let's be realistic. And with your kids or grandkids or whatever, find out, do they actually know how to do these basic things? What if you had to chop off or have chopped off both of your hands because you got bit and you were trying to stop that zombie virus from getting into the rest of your body? You're not going to be able to light a fire now, honey. So does your son know how to light a fire? Was he ever in the Boy Scouts? Does he know how to light a fire? What if you don't have regular matches that are easy strike? Does he have a lighter? Do you have a lighter? Does he know how to hit two rocks together or go like, Tom Hanks and I have made fire? Does your kid know how to do that with a thing? A little bit of thing on a thing with a stick? Find out. And if they don't know how, teach them. Learn. It's all on YouTube. It's all available right now. Until the disaster anyway. It's all available right now. It's all available. Okay? Oh, Visaka, have a wonderful day, my darling. I'm so glad you could be with us and have fun with us today. There will be a lot more of these coming soon. Great idea, Brooke. That is a great idea. I should have James absolutely get involved in some of this. But yeah, your flint and steel. Or if you don't have flint and steel, Shelly, Frugal Living, do you know how to hit the rocks together or, do the thing in order to do that? Yeah. Was your daughter a brownie? Did she go to her Girl Scouts and learn anything beyond selling cookies? Did she learn those other skills? Because you might not be able to do any of that. You know what I mean? Cynthia. Oh my God. You're so funny. She says, Julie, you're going to have us rocking in the corner waiting for the end of the world. But you'll be waiting, Cynthia, while laughing. You'll have some good laughs thinking about poor Julie out there peeing into a funnel in the middle of a field. And you'll be prepared. You will be prepared. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Polly from Maine, I'm so glad you're here. Maine is on my list. Someday I will make it to Maine and visit all of the Stephen King sites. You know I will. Someday. So make sure that you yourself know how to live. Hi, Oma. Good afternoon to you. You know how to live without your phone. You know how to replace batteries. Guys, some people don't know how to replace batteries. Well, hello, people don't know how to wash their hands. So, of course, they don't know how to replace batteries. This is for real. Hello, Elaine. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, 2 scoops. Go ahead. At the table. So. Hi, Polly. I'm so glad you're here with us today in this silliness that I'm having so much fun with. It's not just about being able to stand up and pee with a tube, a funnel, okay? But do you know these million other things? What if your shoes get lost? Something happens to your shoes. Do you know how to protect your feet? What are some great ways, things you can improvise? You can MacGyver a situation so that you can protect your feet. Because if you are not protecting your feet, you are in big trouble. That is one of the first things, okay, in any survival situation is protect your feet. Because when you lose your feet, you've lost your mobility. You're going to be crawling it. Come on. How can you protect your feet? Come up with some ideas. Do some research right now whilst you have internet access before the zombies. These are basic things. You didn't bring toilet paper or you ran out of it or everybody bought it all and is hiding it in their garage. Okay? What else can you use? Yes, Cynthia, absolutely. This is happening. What else can you use? Do you know if you're out in the woods, which plants are going to be okay for using to wipe your butt versus what ones are going to leave you in a worse situation than if you would have just left it all to get crusty? Do you know? Because I can guarantee you there's some plants They're going to be worse than the zombies. You know, a chapped ass is not a fun time. You know. Poison ivy, poison oak. You know this. But do you know how to tell the difference? Do you know which one you would use? Now, that might be going a little far out there, especially if you live, in a populated urban area in the United States of America. Maybe you don't think it'll ever come to that. Maybe you think that will never happen to me or mine or here. I thought that too. Okay, and allow me a morbid moment. There was a lot of things that were in the back of my mind, but that happens somewhere else. That doesn't happen here. And then this last week, we had someone murdered at a dumpster, within my 90-mile dumpster diving radius. It can happen here, it can happen there, and it can happen to you. It can absolutely happen. And there's a good, strong chance that if you live long enough, it will happen. Okay? You've seen the way the world's going. It's gonna happen. Things we never thought were possible at this point in our lives. They're happening. They are happening. So at least be prepared. Know how to do these basic things and consider different situations. This doesn't mean crawl into a hole or hide in the closet, because I'm not going to do that. It just means learn a few things while you're sitting on the toilet. That is a great time. Don't read the shampoo bottle. It's not 1994. Get on your phone. Be sanitary about it. And look up, how do I do this? How do I do that? How did they do this in, 1984? They knew how to do this stuff, in 1979 that I in 2022 don't know how to do. I'm not saying go learn cursive. You don't need cursive. Stop with the memes about, well, nobody cares that you know cursive. We all write with just a squiggle anyway. Cursive doesn't matter, okay? But learn the stuff that does matter, that your grandparents knew how to do. Learn the stuff that does matter. Can you sew on a button? Can you repair a hole in your only pair of pants that you have left? Basic stuff. And wash your hands. Learn how to wash your hands. Please. God. There's more on this list. I'll just wrap these up. I'm just going to read through them and try not to go off on any more tangents. Useful, helpful, entertaining tangents, but I'm going to try. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Practical skills, quick tips. That's what these are. Okay. Get involved in your community as a member of your local medical reserve corps unit or community emergency response team to learn emergency preparedness and response skills. What is that talking about? I know that the LDS, the Mormon groups here, do a lot of that with the cities, just because there is such a predominance of Mormon population in the state of Utah. But they have, I know my mom was on one of these groups. They give you different colored papers to put in your window for when the emergency teams come by or something. There's like red, green, yellow, I don't know, whatever. And each of them have a meaning. I don't even know what any of those are, but I'm going to find out what they are. Know how to recognize and respond to a suspected opioid overdose. Very important. Don't say it won't happen to you. That'll never be me. That'll never be my kid. That's a really horrible attitude and very judgmental and very condescending to people who struggle with drug problems. Okay. It can happen to anybody. It hits us all. Okay. So know how to respond to that. Let's see. And not even just opioid overdose. I would say learn how to use an EpiPen. Hello. For some of us other folk that have these other, medical emergencies. Let's see. Learn and teach basic swimming skills. Taking part in formal swimming lessons reduces the risk of drowning among children aged 1 to 4 years. Learn how to use and read a thermometer. People don't know how to do that. Did you know there's people who don't know? I mean, think of the most basic common sense things that you can think of, that you figured you were born knowing.
Playing with Barbies?
You don't. It's not. You're not born. It's not innate. We don't have the instincts of the sharks in the wild. We don't. We got to learn that stuff. And a lot of people don't know it. They just don't. So, learn how to use and read a thermometer. Wherever you're putting that in. I gotta throw a joke in here and there. That is the most accurate place to get a proper temperature reading, is up your butt. Let's see. Learn how to proofread your important paperwork, including medical records, for mistakes and incomplete and missing information. Learn and teach others how to read food labels if you or your child has a food allergy. If in doubt about the meaning of a warning label or the identity of a listed ingredient, don't consume the item and or contact the manufacturer for clarification long before the disaster. This one. Oh my God. This is important. I don't think they taught us this in the CPR class. Learn how to perform seizure first aid to help a person with epilepsy or just a random seizure until the seizure stops. There's a lot of old school information stuff we used to believe was the way to do it that has been proven to not be helpful and often harmful. Old medical advice that we all took as fact and gospel that has been disproven. So get up to date on that. And I admit, I do not know seizure first aid. I don't know it. Yeah, Brooke. Frugal Mama's summer boot camp for survival. So I'm going to look into that and I'm going to figure that out. There have been seizures in my family. I've had 2 myself that I'm aware of. Long ago. Learn how to make water contaminated with germs safe to drink and where to find alternate sources of water. We're going Bear Grylls. You're cutting open the cactus somehow safely to suck that water out. Let's see. Oh, this is also, if you have babies, you're going to be around a baby, but you never know if you're going to or not. So learn how to do this. My mom saved, was it Reagan? Saved my son Reagan this way when he was a baby. Learn how to give back blows to an infant and how to perform abdominal thrusts or the Heimlich maneuver on yourself and others in a choking emergency. The first thing that I always recommend, and this has been tried and true, though I'm not a medical expert, but I have raised kids, put your arms in the air. If you feel something clogged, something went the wrong way, whatever, put your arms in the air. Why does it help? I don't know, but I will look it up and we will talk about it. But my mom, Reagan had it like an olive, I think. She grabbed him. My grandma was there, who was a trained nurse. My uncle was there. He was a doctor, a medical doctor. They did nothing. My mom, with a high school education and having raised 8 kids, grabbed my baby, turned him over, face down, and bam, bam, bam on his back. Out came the olive. She saved my baby's life. Let's see. Self-care during an emergency will help your long-term healing. Ooh, oh my God. Learn how to cope with a disaster or traumatic event without the use of tobacco, alcohol, or other drugs. Situation happened yesterday. I will go more into this on the Grown Up channel, but I had a situation. There were wasps. You guys know they've nearly killed me a million times. I was visiting with my mom. We're outside. There was a wasp nest we hadn't been aware of. My mom got attacked. We got out of there. I was able to be wise in the moment and stay clear. But once I got in the house, I fell apart. Absolute PTSD. I fell apart. I didn't go to the rum. I didn't any of those things. My mom came and helped me breathe. She was the one who had been attacked. Now, first she, of course, put the vinegar on her wasp bites, but she was the one that helped me feel my toes and relax my shoulders and count to 10. Learn those coping mechanisms. Learn how to use a fire extinguisher. Oh my good God. I don't know at 41 years old if I know how to use our fire extinguisher. I don't even know if it's still up to code or even still works. We have one in the kitchen. It came with the house. We've been living here 14 years. Is it still good? And if it is, do I know how to use it? I can't say that I do, but I'm going to learn. Let's see. Oh, here we go. It says right here, replace your single-use extinguisher after use or every 10 to 12 years unless the manufacturer notes an earlier expiration date. So part of this process, I'm going to get us a new extinguisher. Learn how to manually open your garage door in case of a power outage. Well, I don't have a garage, but that's good to know. Learn how to use an inhaler if you, a family member or a coworker lives with asthma, even if not, learn how to use one. Because you never know. You never know. You might be the one that saves someone's life. Not from the zombies. You're probably not going to save them from the zombies. Sorry. Probably not, okay? But you might save them from a really horrible asthma attack. And it's often in these situations, I think that's one of the main points of all of this kind of thing. Yeah, maybe the zombies will get us, but it is so much more likely that in running to get away from the zombies, you're going to break your ankle, you're going to break the skin, you're going to get an infection, and you're going to die of sepsis or gangrene rather than the zombies eating your brains out, okay? Learn how to use an EpiPen. Learn how to spot a concussion. We've had a lot of those in our family. Family members, my husband, I mean, he goes hurtling down the mountain on his, mountain bike all the time. So stuff happens. Oh, I know, Laura. I'm being careful with the ankles. And I'm going to be doing a lot of physical therapy to build their strength back up. Learn to recognize, the 5 major symptoms of a heart attack, which, if you didn't know, they are different in women versus men. The standard Hollywood heart attack that you're going to see in every movie, that's not the way your mom is going to have a heart attack. She's going to probably have a really bad stomach ache and isn't going to be taken seriously. And she's having a freaking heart attack, not a stomach ache, but she's going to feel it in her stomach. She might have pain in her arm. She might not. She might have a really bad headache. So learn to look for the different signs. It's not all just what you see in the movie. Learn to react fast, FAST. So that must have that's an acronym. If you think someone may be having a stroke. The stroke treatments that work best are available only if the stroke is recognized and diagnosed within 3 hours of the first symptoms. So I'm going to look into that and learn more about that. Parents, learn to feed your young child safely in an emergency. If you are breastfeeding, continue to do so. Breastfeeding remains the best infant feeding option in a disaster, but that's not always possible, is it? If you are formula feeding, learn how to safely provide formula to your child. Oh my good God. It didn't require a zombie outbreak for this to be an issue. It required the year 2022. In all of its glory for this to be an issue. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We are not getting political on here and we're not jumping into it, but can I just say, infant formula shortage. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Learn how to drop or lock if you use a wheelchair, cover and hold on to protect yourself in an earthquake. Great shakeout earthquake drills offer an opportunity to practice. The old ways that I learned as a child growing up in Northern California to protect yourself in an earthquake was to get under your desk. Is that necessarily the safest thing? Well, it's probably better than some situations in hiding spots, but not as good as others. So find, and in your area, maybe it's hurricanes or it's tornadoes or tsunamis. What are the recommended safety procedures for whatever disaster is prevalent in your area? But learn the other ones too, because we've actually had tornadoes in Utah. Weird. Let's see. Parents. Oh my God. Okay, so we're back to washing our hands. Cynthia, have a marvelous day, my darling. And hey, thanks for hanging out during this very long, very wacky, off the rails live stream today. I've been so grateful for you. Okay, so we're back to knowing how to wash our hands practically but actually I take that back and apologize because I didn't know how to do this I wouldn't have known how except that I was the oldest daughter in a family of 8 kids, a very traditional Mexican-American family. So this is something I learned how to do when I was like 8 years old. Parents, learn how to diaper a baby safely in an emergency to reduce the spread of germs. I would not have thought of that one. It seems so common sense to me, but there's a lot of people grew up in a single family home. Single family home, single child home. Not everyone knows how to put a diaper on. People living with diabetes learn how to manage and store insulin in a disaster. Oh my goodness. Learn how to safely clean up mold after a flood or whatever else. Oh my God. Do you know, I've thought about it sometimes when I go down rabbit holes of thinking. Oh my God, we're over 2 hours. Well, anyway, bless you, 26 people that are still here right now with us. Yeah. But after a flood in an urban area, a residential area, it's not just water. It's what's in the water. You would think, oh, it's just water. No, it's not just water. And I had this very naive, ignorant approach to it years and years ago. It's just water. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's your sewer systems that are now all backed up. It's your gas distribution that's now all broken and everywhere. It's electricity from downed power lines. It's the waste outside. It's dead things. And it's all in the water that you're now trying to trudge through. Or you're in a canoe. Or whatever. Yeah. Bacteria galore, Grammys. Oh my Lord. And who knows what else. You haven't seen your cat in a while? Oh, that's a nightmare to think of that, my poor Pharnicus. So learn how to clean up mold after a flood, but everything else too. Because yikes. And finally, the last one on the quick tips. And then we're wrapping this up because I am going to be doing the potty dance here soon. Learn how to prevent mosquito bites to avoid getting sick with viruses such as West Nile. There's also malaria, other things. Like I was saying, it is so unlikely, even in my dream of dreams, that we will ever be faced with a glorious zombie apocalypse. It's not likely, okay? That's not realistic. It is more likely, like I said, you're going to break your ankle, you're going to break the skin, you're going to have a little scratch, and you're going to get brain-eating amoeba out in the lake. There was another of those, just barely. Brain-eating amoeba. Can't remember where, but I saw it on the news. Anyway, yes, and practice using that damn funnel if you need to stand to pee and don't have something there wiggling around to help you. Okay, try not to get demonetized. Guys, it's gonna be a mosquito bite. It's gonna be you didn't wash your hands and then you wiped your eye and some horrific thing got into your eye and ate your brain and it wasn't a zombie. That's what it's gonna be, okay? It's gonna be something else. It's gonna be some airborne flu or pandemic. Or it's going to be a shortage of formula, or it's going to be a fire. It's going to be a flood, an earthquake, the Arctic caps melting and taking out New York. It's going to be one of those things. Not zombies. We're not that lucky, okay? It's going to be malaria. It's going to be Ebola. This is reality. So prepare yourself. Okay? Your house might burn down, God forbid. You know, your breadwinner might become injured, die, sick, whatever, lose their job. The person who pays the bills. These things happen. This is regular daily life that we need to be prepared for. Your oldest child might end up with some serious situations that require them, on a personal note, to be kept safe. Hello, Tina. Oh, my darling love. Tina, you walked into something so bizarre today. This live stream has been off the freaking rails, and it has been a lot of fun. Tina is my cousin, and she knows the lunacy of me
Really?
from childhood. Okay, I'm not ashamed to say I shared a bunk bed with her. Anyway,
You did?
yeah, ages ago, sleepover. But anyway,
Oh.
your family members, your loved ones, they're going to end up needing specialized care, or it is going to be an earthquake. It's going to be a tsunami. It's going to be a tornado. It's going to be a lost job. It's going to be a busted up ankle. It's those kind of things. Those are the things that are going to happen. Not zombies. Oh, I mean, a girl can dream, a girl can wish and hope, and I guarantee I'll be watching a zombie movie today just because now I'm in the mood. And it's very soothing. It's comforting for some of us.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Scary.
Anyway, those are the things you need to be prepared for. Okay? Those are the skills that you need to have. Sing the happy birthday song when you wash your hands. Put the batteries into your carbon monoxide tester. Have a fire drill once a month with your family, and make sure you're keeping pathways clear. Make sure you're keeping window wells clear. That's another one on my list. I'm also going to invest in the covers for the window wells. I also saw at my brother's new house. Tina, I don't know if you know, but Jeremiah and Emily bought a new house, and it is amazing. A glorious, fabulous house. If you ever come out this way again, you got to see their house. It's fantastic. But in the window wells, there's ladders out of the basement window wells. It's amazing. And they're like welded into the window wells. So cool. Do fire drills. Learn where are the safest places in your house during a tornado, during an earthquake. Have meetup plans. Okay? How you're going to find your loved ones when internet doesn't work, phones don't work, you have no communication methods. Have you already said, okay, but we are going to meet at great grandma's old house across town? That's our meeting spot. Somehow we're going to trudge through the mess and we're going to get to that meeting spot. So wait for me there. I will come for you. What movie is that from? Do you know where you're going to meet up? Do you have a bag that you can grab at the door on your way out? Do you have one in the car? Do you have stuff for your pet if you're able to get them and bring them with you? What are you going to do? Are you ready for that? Do your kids know any of these basic skills? Can they manage, oh my God, without their tablet for 3 days? Why not give it a try? Go for 3 days without the tablet. It'll be a whole new world for them. The first day will be absolute misery. Withdrawal central. Oh, it'll be terrible. Terrible. Worse than any apocalypse. But once you get past that first day, hey, you might actually have some fun and some quality family time. Don't play Monopoly. That's not quality family time. Don't do it.
What's wrong with
Nothing
Monopoly?
good will come from that.
What's wrong with Monopoly?
Guys, this has been so much fun. Tina, I'm sorry you're catching us just at the end of this, but actually I'm going to give you a call probably this weekend. Because it's about damn time we got caught up. Plus, I wanted
That's
to
like one of your Minecraft
plan out
videos.
when I'm going to come out and visit out there and do some research for a book that I'm working on. Anyway, yeah, Mama's finally writing again. How about that, guys? That old college degree that my family and I worked so hard to earn. Actually gonna, be putting that to use while I continue trying to recover from this damn foot. Anyway, Mimi's saying bye. I'm saying bye. You guys, you have kept me going this week. I thank you. I will be stopping at the P.O. Box. I know a million of you have sent birthday cards for Olivia. I will absolutely take them to her. I cannot guarantee she'll be able to keep them with her. There are very strict policies, whatever. But she will see them and know how much she is loved. And it means the world to me that you do love my child and are willing to stick with us and support us through this most difficult time of our lives. It means a lot. So I will stop at the P.O. Box and collect those to to bring to her. Okay? Okay. So, if they don't get here in time for her birthday, please don't worry about that. I will bring them to her when they arrive. Okay? And she will see them, and she'll be so grateful, and so will I. All right? You guys are wonderful. Oh, I appreciate you. This has been so much fun and so much lunacy and not nearly enough coffee. But I'm going to correct that situation real quick after the bathroom. Because that's kind of a necessity. Anyway, okay. Have a beautiful day and a wonderful weekend, and we will see you all very soon. Stay tuned, and please, in the rebroadcast, go ahead and fill those comments with the things that are in your bug out bags, your emergency supplies, any emergency situations you yourself have been through, and which tips and products and things you found actually came in handy, things you really ended up using. Tell us all about that in there. And if, and I should have said this earlier, but I will say it again in 100 different videos, if you have a personal survival story, your own emergency, disaster, catastrophe story that you made it through, and you would like to allow us to use it as an object lesson in this video series, please let us know, okay? Because firsthand experience trumps every list on the CDC website, right? Okay, have a beautiful day. We'll see you all very soon.